Hey guys, it's Super Effective here, and I'm joined by Chewy Center.
Hey guys.
And we're going to be covering some gameplay of NS2 combat here, and we're going to try and explain some stuff that goes on as we play.
Right then, let's get this started.
Right. Both teams are funneling out in the top and middle lanes here. You can see a nice little combat going on here in central axis.
Right now the Marines are sticking close together, but also dividing themselves up within the corridor. Covering your teammates is very important in this game. Although not having a commander to support you, you need to rely on your allies just as much as your allies are relying on you.
You're seeing some really early game harassing on the Marine base because I think they were choosing their... Okay, yeah, they just got like on AFK. But they're just spawning in, and I guess some aliens managed to squeeze through. Early game, there's well, depending how many players, there tends to not to be that much strength going on. Like I said, things are supposed to become more decisive and more intense as the game progresses to the end of the match. In this case, we have just aggressive gameplay, which will probably... pays off a little bit. Even if you bite the command chair, you're not likely to kill it, but you do get some experience for biting it. So, it's totally worth it.
And right now, each team is scrambling for position. They're trying to get kills as quickly as they can, as early as they can, so they can get a little bit more experience to get those all-important upgrades from their respective tech trees that they can use to really play the game that they want to play. You see a couple of Marines now. If you're looking towards the scores on the left-hand right sides of your screen, some of them are using welders, while some of the aliens have been able to buy celerity.
Now, these playstyles is really customizable. Like I said, you could become like some kind of upgrades that support a very fast style of play, very fast travel, abilities that allow you to close distance, or in the case of Marines, jetpacks, or being able to just simply increase your movement speed upgrades and stuff like that. Or you could go for maybe something like something that's more just raw power, or maybe you like a lot of survivability, so you have abilities like you can select abilities that restore your health or give you more defenses, or some kind of mixed hybrid. There is no wrong way to play combat.
Right now you are seeing the Marines really group up together in the center of the map, take down those gorges, and then split off into two different avenues of attack. Keeping with your allies is important, but also splitting off and attacking in different groups might also give you an advantage, so you're not easily sidestepped and your base isn't hit out from under you, because combat essentially is about destroying the opposing team's command station, so you really have to keep that in mind when focusing your attack. Is my base safe? Can I get back there if I need to?
The aliens are trying to put up a nice little defensive position here at water containment. It's the reason why it's defensive is because that escalator the Marines are coming up, it's a very narrow passage. The Gorge has done a gorgeous job in placing a Hydras and whips there, so that a Marine coming around the corner is immediately hit. But in this case, too many Marines came through and simply overwhelmed the defenses. Had there been enough support there, the aliens would have a very strong foothold there.
Right now the aliens have changed their attack patterns and have got a gorge tunnel up there in nano panels, or nanotech panels rather. The Marines have got a slight inclination that there are many alien threats there, but right now are focusing their attack down in elevator access. Using that gorge tunnel will allow the aliens to cross the map in a shorter time span, reducing the travel times between the two locations, and hopefully allowing the aliens to lock down a piece of their map that they find useful, that they find will give them a strategic advantage when it comes to defending against the Marine hordes.
one thing I'd like to note is the Gorge Tunnel does not behave quite the same way as a phase gate does. The Gorge Tunnel has the slight disadvantage of the Marines also being able to access it. So if the tunnel is not well defended, in this case it is very well defended, but if it wasn't, a Marine could feasibly take the tunnel and it would become a double-edged sword.
And similar to the way Natural Selection 2 used its Gorge Tunnels in combat will strip away Marines' armor should they choose to enter that Gorge Tunnel and use it for themselves, making the Marines slightly easier to kill to balance things out when comparing them to phase gates, of which the aliens can't use. Right now the Marines do seem to be dominating most of the map, but the aliens have got extremely fortified defensive positions that are keeping the Marines at bay from anything important that they might be likely to destroy.
Yes, the map control is not as critical as regular NS2 because almost every room has a resource node, and that in turn results in your team's strength. However, in this case, it's all having control of a room merely gives you positioning. That positioning can be used to turn into a way to sneak past enemy lines. Like right now, there's a skulk going through cargo bay, and maybe he'll be detected. What's he doing? Oh no, he's biting on the power node. Okay, so he didn't use his time very wisely. But he could have went straight to the base, and while the Marines are here trying to push through this nanotech panel defense, ultimately all it is it serves as a kind of like a forward reinforcement, base of operations. I suppose.
Here we go, Marines have broken through into nanotech panels and have gotten inside the room. Skulks and Gorges valiantly trying to defend their Hydras and Whips, but it does seem right now that the Marines have got the advantage using their numbers to outmaneuver those Skulks and just out DPS those Hydras. What will this mean for that Gorge Tunnel? Will the Marines try and take the tunnel back into the alien hive, or will they just simply destroy the Gorge defenses and farm some kills there, leveling up in the process and gaining more upgrades?
They did have a little spurt of strength, but the longer that they dwindle there, it's going to be harder for them to take out position. See, as you can see right now, they got wiped out, so it's kind of like a little bit of an all or nothing, especially if you know the dangers of leaving it up. Actually, there's a lot of very cunning Gorges on the alien team that I've noticed. They're constantly placing tunnels, constantly trying to split the Marines' forces, and even if you lose the tunnel, you still always have one more, and that's a very viable strategy at play.
And while the Marines were busy attacking nanotech panels there, a Gorge did sneak past into water containment. You guys are seeing the outcome of that. The Marine team have conceded another location to the aliens, which really means now that they have to try something a little bit more desperate and a little bit more cunning of their own design to try and pull things back. They're getting a phase gate in central access, allowing them access to the hive through elevator access, completely subverting water containment altogether.
And what we see here right now is the Marines taking very strong control of the north part and the south part of the map, whereas the Marines are kind of just have their one avenue of attack straight to the alien base. Central access phase gate is actually a pretty good position, but the real question is it defendable? If can it be hold up against various numbers of enemies?
Right now, these Marines are facing pressure from life forms known as lurks. You might have seen them throughout this game. Lurks are pterodactyl-like life forms that use height and speed to their advantage to outmaneuver the Marines and to provide a different style of play and attack that other aliens simply cannot match up to. Utilizing spores. Okay, go ahead.
You can see here that the Marines actually took the time to actually restore the power in the central access. Now, the power is actually not needed to power the structures as it does in regular NS2. In this case, it's more of a convenience, just so you can see a little bit better. So all the structures are not as dependent, but even though all the Marines there, all the aliens know this, and they have gone all the way around to the Marine base and trying to flank them out of position. Oh, they might be able to get the phase gate down in the Marine base, and that's going to be devastating, and it does go down. That's a nice little attack, totally worth it. And now the Marines, even though they're here and they did stop any more further damage, the aliens can now go and secure central access because the phase gate is no longer powered.
And it does seem that the aliens did exploit a loophole in the Marines' attack pattern, going straight through central access and ignoring water containment was their downfall in that assault, allowing aliens to come through auxiliary monitoring and go hit the Marine base, taking out the most important structure there, I would imagine, to be the phase gate. But as the aliens are unlikely to kill the chair at this early stage in the game with relatively weak attacks, they decided to go for the bigger picture, the late game strategy, and take out the phase gate, costing another Marine a lot of upgrade points who needs to rebuild that phase gate.
I think as the game progresses and battles become more decisive, we will start seeing very, very good team play.
Another Gorge, on the other hand, has placed his Gorge tunnel over there right next to the Marine base, connecting the two ends and creating a very, very short tunnel between those two areas, reducing travel time for those aliens, allowing them to get across the map extremely quickly and assault the Marine base. Right now, the aliens seem to be a little bit further ahead in terms of levels than the Marines, perhaps using these to get out faster Onos than the Marines can afford to get their Exos out onto the field. You can see here now one Onos rampaging right through the Marine defensive line before he himself is taken down, which leaves this Gorge a little bit exposed. But even so, the Onos did go down, but did push the Marines right back into auxiliary monitoring, and that is a huge blow for the Marines, who have only just got their first Exo Suit.
Yeah, the first Exo Suit. Naturally, the first one to come out is the railgun, as it is cheaper than the minigun Exo Suit. So you could say that the minigun is actually a pseudo upgrade to the railgun because its overall DPS it's just way higher. But I mean, there's nothing stopping that player from going straight to minigun Exo Suit. It's just that you might as well kind of upgrade while you can.
And even then, it's a case of your personal playstyle. You might choose to use the railgun instead of the minigun because that's what you like to use, and then you're able to get other advantages using those upgrades points you would otherwise have spent on the minigun on other things such as self-wielding armor, nanotech armor I believe it's called, or even just more flat health in general.
Oh, well, there's a nice little alien assault going on the Marine base as well as the alien base, but I think the alien base is sitting at 80% health, whereas the Marines base is at 72, so it's very close. If people don't die, it's all about destroying the other team's base. 64, I kind of wish that...
50% on Marine base.
64, it's very close, it's maybe a 20% difference. Now, Flatter,
I think this could be it.
If this Exo Suit can kill some of these alien life forms, that can stem some of the damage on there, leaving the Marine team a chance to keep going. It's getting very close. 10%.
Oh, here we go.
Onos goes down versus 26%. Oh,
5%, and the only things left alive are 3 whips. 3%. Will the whips be enough to finish it off?
Wow.
Oh wow! And just as we say that, the Marines were cleaned out from the hive.